Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to LEGO City Undercover. Let's continue. So we have a new quest just down this way towards the next level. I think we may kind of quickly run through each level now and not really have as much open world stuff happen. Of course, I need to figure out how to get where I need to go. I guess I needed to break that so I could jump this, so I could get over on this side. And interestingly, it just threw to a cutscene.
Chase McCain. It's been a long time.
I've turned down the graphics a little bit.
It's been 6 hours.
What are you doing here?
I decided on a
We'll
change
see if
of
that
career.
stops
I'm now
the
captain of the ferry, which
rather
takes rum
comparatively
codes and
infrequent
no-good
lagging I've been
ne'er-do-wells
seeing.
over to Albatross Prison.
We've definitely
the
had
ferry.
considerably less
Where is it?
lagging
I sunk it.
than what
I don't suppose you could
happened
build a new one for me, could you?
in some of the previous LEGO games. And frankly, the LEGO
Hey,
games
Ellie,
seem to
do we
get
have
worse
any
and
super bricks
worse.
out the back of the police station? I need to rebuild the ferry.
Has Frank been driving it again?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh, okay. Let me just update your scanning software again. Right. You should be able to use your communicator as a data scanner now. It'll show up any super bricks nearby. After I hang up, just tap the data scanner button on your communicator and follow the instructions.
Thanks, Ellie.
So yeah, we're into like 2 hours plus into the game, and we're still doing things. So right on the D-pad to bring up the data scanner, so that we can scan this. Just zoomed in a little too close.
I can't help but feel I should be a pirate. I've got a voice after all. Oh, wait. I'm allergic to parrot feathers, aren't I?
So there's one in here, but how would I reach it?
I reckon I'll be stuck in port for quite some time.
Let's see, here's my goal.
Maybe I should take in an opera.
Maybe I should look around and see if I can find some different super bricks to collect. That seems like that's more complicated for a little kid's game, and I don't feel like you can ever turn a LEGO game into anything other than a kid's game first and foremost. And as we do the quests, I think what we're gonna quickly find is we will have more and more abilities unlock, and the city will become more Lego-fied. But seems like we can scan this wherever we want. But after I scan something, you're kind of left thrown out of the area. So we can kind of see what the gameplay mechanic is going to be pretty quickly. It looks a little bit more orange as they get further and further away and about to fade out. Interesting. I thought maybe the orange there was an indicator of bad guys. Yeah, we can't do anything to collect that yet. I don't know even how I would get in this room. Or maybe get a glass break ability. So I can kind of tell already that, like, once we get into the open world, once we have all the abilities, we're going to be doing a like ridiculously large amount of this. And it's not going to work particularly well right now. So I'm just going to hope. See, I can jump off these cans.
I think I'm gonna start wearing an eye patch. Can't be taken seriously as a captain in this town without one. But
Do
which
we
eye?
have enough? No, we are totally really short.
Maybe I should get myself a peg leg, just to get the tourists in. They'd like that. Oh,
But there wouldn't be something else. Like, there really wouldn't be something else to do that the game hasn't pointed out to us to do. So it's strange, to say the least, to have this break in gameplay. Right, how could one get up here? Like, you can kind of jump sometimes, but not enough. It's not like your grapple gun just works on everything or anything. We're getting a lot of police sirens in the background, which are cool and all, but they're part of. They're gonna get annoying really fast. I guess maybe this is where we're going to get up there. Alright, how do we jump down? Just with B? And I guess the question is, do I really need to try and get golds or silvers, or should I just stick with the effort I'm doing right now to work towards getting super bricks? It's probably a purple brick. Nope, there was a super brick. Alright. Camera's being a little awkward.
I think I'd probably save a lot of time on my ocean voyages if I started using one of them newfangled compasses instead of that map of mine. Well, I say
Again,
map. It's really just a sheet of blue paper.
this is a great example of every time you walk by a character, they have something to say, even if it's repeated dialogue. Yeah, this feels like one of the older LEGO games where they were trying to integrate the concept of an open world, so they felt a need to put some kind of challenge in between each level. We've unlocked several things.
You've saved my hide, and no
More
mistake.
than I would have thought
Hop on
I
board
would have
and we'll
unlocked.
set sail for Albatross Prison.
Okay.
You never know, we might even make it there.
So I definitely want to get the purple, and large collections of stats like this not going to be bad. So travel to Albatross Island. So we just start the level as a shortcut this way. So we don't just swim. I guess that's the answer to that. Shark-infested waters. LEGO Marvel Superheroes had this same problem in a much smaller section. You would sometimes be in these weird areas that were very caged in and small, but they weren't actually part of the levels, so they didn't have all the collectibles or really any collectibles like the levels did. But then they also weren't really part of the open world. Instead, they were possibly instances of the open world where things were slightly different. So if you wanted to re-experience some of those sections,
It's nice to see they take security so seriously.
you would have to just start a new game.
I guess I'll just let myself in and then track down Blue.
Of course, it's kind of true for any LEGO game that once you've got 100% of everything, there's not a great desire or need to So it's funny this game is called LEGO City Undercover when really it isn't. Like you're really not doing anything. Let's see. Mechanic. Like that's all I've. It says I've unlocked things, but doesn't seem like I really have unlocked anything. So do you have to purchase these characters at the police station? It seems like that's the case. So yeah, you doesn't feel like you actually play undercover ever. You're not really doing undercover work. You're chasing after police in police uniforms. You're chasing after bad guys in police uniforms. What's a scan thing? We're not in a level yet, so like this is more outside side story. Notice how they're taking delight in having you wander around. So I just collected a key, which yay for that I suppose, but yeah. I don't know what the key is for. It's for this lock. Interesting. So apparently now studs have been so undervalued, and I think this is probably a fair thing to say for as LEGO games have evolved. You can get studs so easily, and they're so undervalued that they've introduced bricks as a secondary currency just to limit the game flow a little bit. There was a lag, but heck, we're 13 minutes in before we even see the first lag. I will check my recording software after this recording, and I will exit out after this recording too, so we'll probably start the next recording in the thing. Having trouble activating that. Just to see if maybe there's a way we could get 100% performance working, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's just an impossible goal. Yeah, I don't think it's super worthwhile to run there. Those bricks disappeared rather quickly as soon as I turned around. That's one of the things that a modern engine running a LEGO game could improve upon greatly, is you could have studs lying around forever. I was playing a 10-year-old game called Torchlight, which is much older than this remaster is, or port. And one of the things Torchlight did for better or for worse, was have every single body of any vanquished creature stay on the ground until you effectively ran out of RAM. So you would have an entire floor just covered in bodies, hundreds and hundreds of them. Let's see what's under here. Again, there's just a super brick. The size seems to change on the super bricks, which I find a little dissettling. Okay, it would have made a lot better sense mentally to me if it had stayed one size and very recognizable. The fact that it's flickering between colors isn't Lego like at all. Let's just face it. Right, can I jump up here and maybe grapple this without falling down? I guess I'm just supposed to jump down and get this. Just ran into a unlockable car, I guess. And see, this apparently is some change your appearance ability. So then I'm gonna have to run down this way, and you get a little bit of studs for that, but then you get punished for playing in the right way and trying to get all the collectibles. Here they want you to tap A, although I'm not sure it really is necessary. And I believe if I jump here, I'm perfectly safe. I'll not do that for the corner, but this is one of those games where it locks into position once you where you're gonna land, so you have a 0 chance of falling down. Right. Seems to me like they want me inside this prison, which looks much more like a prison than I would say any of the Marvel areas, the Marvel prison, which I don't think we did too much around that. What was that called? The Rock in the Marvel universe? And the camera doesn't really change, so I might have almost got myself stuck.
If I'm late again.
Right. And see, that's not very useful either. We've got to get something like a double jump. There's got to be something around that. Apparently I'm going to get a punch ability.
That'd be great.
And we did unlock the code ability to unlock things. So that's a bit of a shortcut.
Yo, policeman, you belong in the law court, not a basketball court.
Don't even
Hey,
get
nice
the
work, man. You be using the language real good.
I sure am, do.
If that's a basketball court, where's your basketball?
A bunch of real mean bullies took it off us.
They are not nice.
If I get it back for you, will you let me in?
We'll see. I ain't promising nothing.
Oh, man, that's a double negative. You have let me down.
So we're on a fetch quest now. Which I guess the question would be, do we scan for a basketball? Or doesn't seem like that's what we're supposed to do. Okay. So again, the game is just kind of leaving you to this open world experience, which really puts this as like one of the later Lego games you'd ever want to have a kid play, because they would have to know and understand the Lego world inside and out enough to just go, okay, I'm willing to not get frustrated or capable of not getting frustrated, and I'll run around this open world and just do whatever I want. On the other hand, most LEGO games are rather linear, so they often did need that second player co-op to have a parent if it's a real young kid, just so that they are getting some kind of guidance as basketball. Getting some repeated minifig characters, but that's not a huge issue. These guys gonna fight me? Okay.
I will hump you.
So this is almost a Batman style, they attack, you counter, quick time event type attack.
On, try your best.
Alright, so I'm pressing Y.
Try it.
It's just, you know what, the X button works better than the Y button. It's not the Y button. I don't know what the Y button is supposed to do. It's probably a
No.
as a double. Like, it seems like Y is just block. Alright. Up here we go. Over here. And press B.
You got it. All right, fair's fair. In you go.
It's really strange that there's not a level here.
Hey,
Feels
are you
again
Blue?
like this was just supposed to be
better
a
days, Sonny.
I'm Chase.
better,
I heard you
like
might
a
know
cartoon or
about
something.
Rex Fury.
Rex Fury.
And this is
That
just
man owes me.
a reference
him
to
escape?
Shawshank
Why
Redemption.
would I do that? Rex was my biggest customer until he disappeared, owing me for a hot tub. You know how difficult it is to smuggle one of them in? Speaking of which, careful with Haywood's new car, hmm?
Sure, Blue.
So how did Rex escape?
Well, that's the question on everyone's lips. Except no one's allowed in his cell to find out. Not even the police.
That's not right.
But we both want to see Rex back in here. So I've got an idea. Get some gear from the cupboard in my cell. Then I'll call you with more information on this.
That's a croissant.
We aren't allowed phones in here. The phone's inside it. Put your number in.
Oh. There. I hope this plan of yours works, Blue.
Are you free, man?
No. No, I am not Freeman. His lawyers might be watching. What's the matter,
Morgan
Haywood?
Freeman
You don't like
reference.
a new car?
Car.
It's good to see officers out in patrol.
I wouldn't have been surprised had they wanted to spend the budget. They could have literally just had Morgan Freeman voice that. And almost certainly they did settle on some kind of license agreement instead of risking a parody defense. Remember that this game is, the parent company of TT Games is Warner Brothers, and almost certainly they own the rights to Shawshank Redemption, and thus wouldn't even need to really come to much of an agreement.
I'll forget it. I'm just too old to be chasing young whippersnappers about.
You need a hand?
I couldn't hurt. Think
The
you're up to
badge
date,
on
old fellas
this guy's
back in their
chest,
cells?
the way it stretches and squishes, really goes to show how cartoony it was in their leg right at the beginning of the level. It's always like at the beginning of the level. But yeah, the way the badge stretches and squishes really goes to show an animation style that I think compared to the Lego movie now kind of has its own little problems of not feeling Lego enough. Whereas when the Lego games first happened, they were definitely cold enough, done well enough to feel like Lego. Now it feels like a Lego cartoon, of which they've made several Lego cartoons and movies, and frankly that's working rather well for them. At a certain point you might have a little bit too much Lego in your life, particularly as a parent who's like, let's face it, Lego is not cheap. The video games are probably some of the cheapest forms of entertainment around the Lego things. No, not really, because if you can get like a Netflix account, you could also work for effectively $10 a month to show a lot of the
is there any way I
movies
can
and
help
cartoons.
you, officer?
Yeah. I need to check a prisoner's cell for something. He's called Blue?
Blue? He's been here almost as long as me. Always sees I get some of that cake his mom bakes him. It kinda tastes funny. There you go. I'm off for a nap. Need to stay alert. That's why I have at least 4 a day.
There's
I am really regretting my life choices about now.
There's a bad mob boss named Blue in another show. I can't remember the name of it though. It's definitely not family friendly, and I imagine if I was more familiar with crime movies and drama, there's probably been a lot of people named Blue.
You get in there?
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta be quick. There are guards near me. Now, once you've got the equipment, you need to get into the warden's office.
What?
It's the only way to Rex's cell. Wait. Shh.
Yep, that's Blue. He's the one that talks to pastries. Cuckoo.
Okay, now go. The door's at the right side of the 3rd story. And you better hope the warden's not in there.
Let me out of here. I'm innocent.
I'm gonna get you back for this,
So-
policeman.
I need a crowbar,
You can't keep me in here.
which means we need
Not
to
on a
find the
sunny
crowbar,
day.
which means
It's a good thing these bars are between you and me.
something. It's like we couldn't find the ball. There is somebody tossing something there. We really couldn't find the baseball. This is interesting because you don't get to see the backside of Lego places very often. Yeah, there's nothing here though that really points towards where a crowbar is. By the way, you would not have barrels of fire going on inside of a police prison. That's at the very least too easy for an accident to happen. At the worst, too easy for an entire burning down of the whole building to happen. I assume I'm not supposed to run
Come on,
out
give a guy a second chance.
of this area.
Hear about this?
So, to change outfits, don't we need a change? No, we don't. Interesting. So all of a sudden left bump just works, okay? So for the first time, nearly 2.5 hours in, we're actually doing something undercover. Whereas it would have been easy enough to start with a tutorial mission where you're undercover and doing something that was completely unrelated to the story, and then have some more backstory and reveal. Alright.
Oh, come on! I'm gonna miss my stories on the TV.
We're still not in a level, though, so
You can't keep me in here forever.
I just found a red brick. Let's see what that red brick is. I think we have to unlock them. It doesn't even tell you what number red brick you just got. So playing with a walkthrough is going to turn out to be incredibly annoying because it doesn't even bother to shift to purchasable.
At least it's better than solitary.
Keycard activator. Lasers stop me but don't kill me. Needed to know that. Electric. I guess we are in a level. There's just really such a disconnect here. We didn't even really see a load. And while that's great and all, it doesn't really work. Something should have happened to indicate
I ain't a
you're
bad
now in
person,
the
really.
level.
Come on, I'll prove it. Just let me out of here a second.
Like some kind of animation or something. Putting the key in and then having to press B to turn it is unnecessary. It could simply have just had the Alright, so that's a different ability. So, what this tells me is there's going to be a police, mechanic, civilian class, robber class, and then several other classes of characters who all are going to have about the same abilities. Which, okay. We'll kind of see. Tab B to crack. I didn't do anything. I just hit B like once or twice. Maybe they made that super easy because it wasn't very fun the first time in the original form of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Do we still have the key card? Yes, we do. See, and that just opened the door on the first press. And I guess the circle now indicates that any character class can activate those kind of actions.
Chase, this is really important.
What is it?
So, do you think Ellie likes me or not?
Frank! I'm at the prison, remember? Trying to find out how Rex escaped.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, I think she does.
Sweet!
I'm really not getting enough small bricks in currency to have extra to build anything. So these guys are trying to fight me, but really don't have a lot of reason to fight them. There. Let's go back and fight these guys. Let's see. That just gives us studs. Not really anything else. And playing like a normal kid would and just breaking everything doesn't even make sense because we know we're going to get scoring multipliers. We need to see what at least that first red brick is. And since we're in the mission, we can't actually see the other red brick. The total number of red bricks in the game. The harmonica music is kind of interesting here, but it feels a little out of place too. It seems that LEGO City still does very much feel like it's
Chase,
set
You
in
in?
an Appalachian.
The warden just went
Country
through a door
town.
on the other side of his office.
That's his private bathroom. Block the door. The warden has a hidden elevator to Rex's cell block in his office, but he's not gonna let you snoop around for it.
Gotcha.
Kind of jumps. And then it gets way harder. There you go.
Yeah.
This game does have achievements, so wouldn't be surprised if there was an achievement around that. It'll be interesting if this actually turns into something that had to be done. No, it was just one of the possible things you could do to get your badge. This room is a lot more Lego-y than a lot of the other rooms have been. Let's see. In a funny way, it's like they're doing a lot more simplistic, small, bespoke music pieces or sound pieces versus just background music. The background music itself seems to be a secondary thought. Like, I know a little bit is playing right now, but it's not.
You won't get out of there in a hurry.
It's not as high energy as I think some
Hello?
of the other Lego games have
Someone
been.
out there? No, I told you. I haven't let anyone look in there. Not even that fool Dunby. I don't want you back here either. No. Of course I didn't call you from a toilet. Gotta go.
It's an entire
Who is
Lego
that?
toilet.
What are you doing? Are you looking in my safe? Don't touch my records. They're alphabetized.
So I'm just gonna. Yeah, it just turns green after a
Better not
second,
be
and you just
messing
press
with
the
my
B
records.
button.
Especially not the opera ones.
So we got a record. We put it in here.
What's happening out there?
This is
I
nice.
have no idea to this day what those two Italian ladies were singing about.
I don't know
also
the
don't know
point
why
here.
those guys are dancing together. And how did he get that saucepan on his head? There is a lot I don't know.
Let me out! Let me out!
Notice it kept the skin this time in the cutscene.
Somebody, open this door!
So that was kind of some crazy moon logic
Fresh air!
for the Lego games. And here we have a standard foreground wall. So I'm gonna
Ah, the old secret entrance behind a painting.
bit of a
What a
lag
classic.
there. Okay,
This must be Rex's cell.
that H like box on the wall looks too much like the security panels on the wall. I guess it's supposed to be a first aid box or something. I don't get the H though.
A punch bag and weightlifting equipment? Oh, great. Cause, hey guys, does Rex know you're using his hot tub?
You are gonna get trounced.
I will pump you.
So I can still fight and arrest people as the criminal.
A jukebox in a jail cell?
So, did you manage to get into the warden's private elevator?
Yeah. Wow. Rex's cell is nicer than my apartment.
Mostly down to me, after the warden made sure he got the biggest room in the prison. What'd you expect to find in there, anyhow?
I figure he was probably in a hurry when he busted out of here. So he might have left some evidence behind.
Good luck catching Rex, Chase. And when you get him, tell him Blue says hi.
That's
So-
interesting. A hidden button.
So we kind of know where we're going. Let's see if this does anything. Nope.
That's
Just a
right.
funny
It's
animation.
not just police beats that I'm good at. Aha, another hidden button.
Okay. So several hidden buttons. Apologies for the controller being so clacky, but heck, this is how clacky the controllers are. So that was another thing to do. So we now know that there's 3 buttons hidden around here that need to be pressed. A little bit of a lag there. It's like right after an animation that the lagging happens.
I'm not sure what's more despicable about Rex. His crimes or his taste in music.
So we can change the music. Interesting. So we should have a lag right after we cut out of this cutscene. Yeah, we really didn't. So it's not even particularly consistent, which is fine. I guess the fewer the better. Let's see if I can just avoid falling. You just press A and then you're holding, and all I'm using right now is the left stick to move to the right. No button needs to be held down or anything like that, which that feels a little unintuitive compared to other games. I would have kind of expected more. Let's see. So we gotta scan, which then turns down the music and starts playing the oboe jingle. And there's the third button.
There's the last button. Ah, the old secret entrance behind a painting. What a... Hang on. Didn't I say this already?
So yeah, the entire level was the Shawshank Redemption reference.
McCain! Warden Stonewall called me. I won't tell you what he called me, but it wasn't nice.
It was a nincompoop.
It looks like Rex used this hammer to dig his way out of prison. It came from the Bluebell mine.
Give me that. If there's any deducting to do, I'll do it. Interesting. It's a hammer.
And where's it from?
There's no way to tell. But the Bluebell mine seems as good a place to start as any. You see, there was a theft there a few months ago.
I'll get over there right away, Chief.
Not so fast, McCain. Sheriff Huckleberry can look into it. Stay away from the mine. That's an order.
Hey, Chief, can I get a shot for the Herald?
You sure he didn't use this?
Watch the birdie.
So that's a level complete, free play unlocked. So we've unlocked studs times 2. The question is, would it cost me 1,000,000 studs to get studs times 2, or would it cost me maybe only 500,000? If it's below 500,000, I might have enough studs right now to purchase that. But we're gonna have to go back to the city.
Hey, Chase.
Hi, Ellie. What do you need?
Have you seen Frank around? He's doing a favor for me.
Sorry, not heard from him. Well, I've got you. Do you know anything about a theft at Bluebell Mine?
Sure do. Uncle Duke took me along with him. Some thugs took a load of equipment. Dumby took us off the case before we could interview the witness, though. Said he sounded like a crank.
There was a witness?
Yeah, kooky old guy. Hang on. Clarence Fletcher. Says here his friends call him Stinky. Nice.
Thanks, Ellie. Sounds like Stinky might know who Rex's guys are on the outside. Oh, and I'll keep an eye out for Frank.
And try taking the train from Cherry Tree Hill Station. You'll get to the mine a lot faster.
Okay. So the game wants me... We've now unlocked train travel as a fast travel ability. 1 of 14. And by unlocking that, we've gotten a gold brick, so that is clearly a big ticket item. Or 2 of 14, I guess. So, 2 gold bricks for just finishing the story level. Alright. So, let's take a moment here to pull up the menu. Like, I'm trying to pull up the map and it doesn't want to even show up. So, I am here. It wants me to set this as my destination. Meanwhile, the headquarters, I think, is here. So we're not in too bad of a position to just fast travel. I think this is the headquarters. Let's see. Let's return to the police station. Am I sure? Yes. So that might break something in the storyline by doing this. Because a lot of these LEGO games are kind of built and designed in such a way that you're supposed to just play through the entirety of the story as it is, and it's questionable whether you're supposed to actually come back to the main hub area.
If I make 2 more arrests this month, I win a waffle iron.
Honestly, it might be better if the game would just save your location where you are and not even unlock the hub world and the open world until the end of the game. And we've seen a couple of LEGO games do that, and then it's actually a surprise that there is even an open world. So I understand also their desire not to have that be the way things turn out, because if you've put a lot of effort into making
What do you want?
Making a open world, you'd want people to know it actually exists. Now, this computer here doesn't do anything for us, it just tells us our playtime and 2 hours and 24 minutes and our percentage complete, which is 4.4. We can't go to the library. The briefing room, let's check that out. I bet this is where you go to see all the cinematics. So we probably have several collectibles and things back in this area. Either that or there's something I need to build before I can even see the cinematics. I don't see a reason for that. Oh, it's a gold brick. Okay. So we got a gold brick for doing that. Not too bad. Doesn't seem like we control presentations. These Lego popcorn cups are not used very much. They're kind of a new piece. Another gold brick. We can certainly try to see if there's anything else that needs to be broken. Frankly, it feels like there might not be a way to see any of the cinematics yet. Maybe that unlocks later, or maybe that's in a completely different area. Let's see. What if we went in the scan mode here and just looked around? Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's anything here. Which is strange, certainly, but whatever. And we can see that there's only really 3 floors on this. So the basement is the main area of focus and concern. This would let me choose maybe some other outfits that could be purchased. But purchasing outfits would be the absolute last thing you would want to do.
This is worse.
You could also grind through some of this to get some studs if you felt the need to.
I've been doing this for months, and my arm's still the same size. What gives?
And I suspect there might be some hidden collectible around here, but it's not really worth it to break everything everywhere in the entire game. This world, while not being a huge open world, is still more than large enough to take huge amounts of extra hours to try and find all these collectibles. So we definitely need that red brick detector. Let's see, as soon as we find a key card, we could get to the 3rd level and unlock some more things, I guess. And we apparently haven't even moved the story forward enough.
Wait, was it 63 or was it... oh no, I lost count now. Yes. And... what?
There's a super brick. It looks like I could probably just jump in here. And that'll open the door. Alright. You can purchase unlocked vehicles at Chuck's vehicle request deck. So there's 2 of 21 emergency cars, 0 of 10 compact cars, and 1 aircraft so far. Yeah, we need the gold brick detector also. So you're just waiting for it to go blue and then hitting B. And I imagine we won't have to unlock these sections anymore. So let's go up here. Let's see what this does. Alright, we've got an electric ability that we don't have. And apparently those things just open by default. probably something connected to that drawer. Alright. This is a different type of menu. Okay. Red brick shop. How much does it require to get studs times 2? It's like a 3D model viewer too for that icon for no reason. Alright, so I hit A. And then what? Did I just activate it? Studs times 2 is on. And that didn't cost anything to purchase. Interesting. Well, that's different. That's very, very different. It's odd that you can't jump down. There's a bit of lag too. So we're set up at least in a slightly better position now where we'll double the amount of studs, but I don't know if that really means we'll double the amount of bricks. Let's see, we have 10,885. I picked that up, I'm 10,886, 87. So it's not doubling the bricks. What do we purchase over here? And this menu system, clearly they worked on this menu system and they needed it might have been more useful later on. This whole menu system might have even made sense on like a dual screen setup. Let's see what's in here. A police lineup. So yeah, we're in a very good position then, I guess, because all I need to do is find the red brick detector, which the gold brick detector, any kind of other detectors, and continue to find score multipliers, and we'll have like no problem whatsoever as far as what we're doing. This is a custom A civilian, this is a custom B police, this is custom C robber, and we can't even see the others, but looking at the shadow here, it seems like there's going to be a custom miner or a fireman, and then a custom looks like a spaceman, and then a custom Indiana Jones looking guy, and then over on the far end we have some really crazy looking characters. So a lot of things here don't make sense as far as where you should, like, should you be even dealing with this stuff yet. It's pretty much no, you shouldn't. Turn the Lego City without having to use the elevator. That's probably useful. Let's see where that takes us. Let's see if I can walk here. It pops up the question, are you sure any unsaved progress will be lost? Well, why would there be any unsaved progress to be lost? Yeah, the only time we're seeing these loading sections are on some of the levels, but not all of the levels. Or perhaps the loading sections are just so...
I need to ask Stinky at the mine some questions. I'll get there faster if I take the train.
So it just kind of reminds me where we were, which we frankly weren't too far away from where we needed to be anyways. And here's another red brick. So immediately we kind of need to go back and see what this is. Data scan upgrade city challenges. Okay. That's not unlocked yet. Alright, so extras. Data scan, upgrade, city challenges already on. Okay, so we don't have to leave. So let's just take a look around. Vehicles don't scan, just people scan. So what would this be? A call-in point for 8,000 cars, 8,000 super studs. Yeah, I don't think you want to use any of that right now. I think you are just way better suited. So there is a way to get to the top of this building, but we can't reach it with our current abilities. And we really were just behind the police headquarters. So this was probably the perfect point to do a side quest anyways, and go back to the main area. Alright, well, we now have 5 of 39 red bricks. We're at 5% even completed with the whole game. The amount of studs we collect seem to only be used for unlocking characters and vehicles, which kind of means that we're not going to use studs at all for the vast majority of the game. It won't be until we are at like 80% done, and then I just go through the entire list and unlock all the characters at once and unlock all the vehicles at once. And until that point, we're just going to build up this surplus of studs for seemingly no reason. We have 12 of 305 characters. We will probably unlock about 36 characters, I would guess, for free in the entirety of the storyline, and then everything else will require money. We have 5 of 120 vehicles. We'll probably unlock 10, maybe 20 vehicles for free. And we have 13 of 450 gold bricks, and once we start being able to detect gold bricks, that would be the point to actually care about it. Otherwise, it is what it is. We'll probably run into a ton of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're at 150 or even 200 gold bricks without even trying. The main resource here that we need to manipulate and save up on are the studs, which we only have 10,953 of, and we're going to just always try to find those super bricks and collect studs, not studs, but bricks, as much as possible, because that is now the limited resource, which doesn't make sense. It really just speaks to a inability to balance the main currency. Imagine living in a world where there were 2 types of currencies, and some things could only be bought with one, and some things could only be bought with another, and you couldn't transfer the 2 currencies easily between the 2. That would be ridiculous. That's what you see in a lot of free-to-play games, where you have a premium currency and then several free currencies, and it makes it confusing about how much actual real-world money you're using, which does not in any way need to exist in a LEGO game for little kids. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. I'm going to quit the window, so we'll see if we start the next level just outside the police headquarters, or if we start exactly where we're standing. I would suspect we'll start outside the police headquarters, but that shouldn't be a big deal. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.